All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again to dive into our phenomenal Wednesday show. It's the Hump Day show, so I hope you guys are ready to be wildly entertained because we're going to do our best to wildly entertain you. No guarantees, of course, but but I'm not alone here, folks. I am joined by my good friend and co-host, the Big Toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard, is here with me. So let's say hello to Mr. Don. How you doing, Don?
Oh, hold on. There we go. I think I got it now.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why my mic wouldn't move. It's because I was standing on my mic cord.
Oh.
I was like, why is that out? Why is my foot moving?
Why do I shorten this cord? Why are my cords all short now?
What the hell happened?
Don, where are your feet?
They're on my legs.
They're on my leg.
Well, yeah.
They're at the end of my legs.
My toes are on my footsies.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey.
It's hump day.
Hump day.
That's right. We
My
are
camera's still a little weird.
Well, okay.
Let me this way. Wow.
There you go. Looks like you're in it.
Honestly, it's not. I don't have my head's not that big.
No.
No.
I'm just further away from my camera. My camera's all on the other side of my monitors and stuff. And Don's is a little closer.
Hey, look, Cade's there. Hey, by the way, thanks, Cade.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Cade. Good to see you. The Dawn.
Let's see. Squatch Talks is here.
The beard, the myth, the legend. Squatch Talks is here. Good.
Yeah, Squatch Talks.
Good to see everybody. How you guys doing? Hope you're having a wonderful week. We're in the hump day, so downhill from here is what it's supposed to do. Put that on camera. I keep doing this, but I got it cropped so small to fit Don's big head on the screen.
Jesus.
There's less of me and a lot more Don, but maybe that's the way it should be. So hope you guys are doing great. We got a lot of amazing stuff to get through tonight. As always, we're going to hit the news. We're going to hit the Discord question of the week, providing you guys answered it.
Right.
Our wonderful Discord community. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all of the input that you guys have given on all of those. And then we're going to dive into some other stories and then hit the Cryptid corner to round it all off. So we got a lot to go. We got some stuff from Sasquatch Chronicles tonight in the Cryptid corner and Phantoms and Monsters. There's some Dogman reports and stuff. So lots of good stuff.
Sounds like you have it well rounded.
Just like me, Don. I'm well rounded. That's right. It's not easy to look this good. You got to eat tons of calories and stuff, man. It's tough. I'm telling you. But we are just thrilled to be here as always. And I guess it's time for the news. What do you think, Don?
For the news?
The news.
The
it's
news.
Time for the news.
The news.
It's time for the news, huh?
God. Get to the chopper.
That was like a cross between like a Brooklyn accent and Arnold. Arnold. All right. Because I'm here to crush my enemies and to see them scatter before me. All right. Anyway, let's get to the news.
Please.
Whoa. Cat laying on the board. All the faders get messed up.
Blame the cat.
I'm definitely blaming the cat. It's the reason I got to shave my microphone. You probably got to shave yours too if you spoke in it closer.
That was funny.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk, where we cover all things Paranormal Portal news. And I pulled up a bunch of stuff. We'll get to what we get to. There's no mandatory reads here, but there's some good ones. This one's a weird one. I had never heard anything about this before I pulled up this article, so I'm going to be learning right along with you.
Oh,
and the object of the Paranormal Portal news is not that you're necessarily learning news you need, but you're learning things you maybe didn't know before. So hopefully you will. All right, so rounding up, beginning the News Festival of Fun here on the Paranormal Portal, we're going to go to unexplained-mysteries.com, where we're going to explore the very first article of the night. Please support this site, folks. They are doing marvelous things over there and just love it. So marvelous. Simply marvelous. I tell you, it's marvelous. All right, the first story tonight is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com. Scientists unravel the mystery of Japan's mummified mer monkey. You ever heard of a mer monkey, Don?
Nope.
Me either. I might have dated one, but... Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my gosh. Yep, that looks like an X. That's why she's an X. Is that a fin right in the middle of his
I don't know what the hell we're looking at, to be honest with you, but it's creepy. It says the remains of a creature described as a mer monkey have been kept at Japan's Enju-in temple for decades.
I see.
Japan is said to be home to quite an assortment of mythological creatures, including the Ningyo, which has been a type of fish-human hybrid, the Kappa, a green human-like entity with webbed hands, and a turtle-like carapace on its back. And while few people would ever expect to see one of these creatures in the flesh, visitors to the Enju-in temple in Asakuchi, Japan, can actually cast eyes upon the mummified remains of something very similar, a monkey-like creature with pointed teeth and fish scales. Wow, is that donated by P.T. Barnum or what? Exactly where this bizarre specimen originated remains unclear, but over the last 12 months, scientists from the Kurashiki University of Science and the Arts, KUSA, have been carefully studying the remains in an effort to piece together exactly what it is and what it's made of. Using a combination of X-ray imaging, CT scans, DNA analysis, radiocarbon dating, the team discovered that the mer monkey was, in fact, a hodgepodge of parts from various other things.
Thank you, there, P.T. Barnum.
Exactly.
You're the reason we got this.
Yeah, and completely lacking any internal skeletal structure, the creature is made primarily of cloth, cotton, and paper, and has then been covered in some sort of substance made from charcoal and sand.
Wow.
The hair on its head is animal hair, while its scales come from two different types of fish. Its torso is covered with the skin of a puffer fish, while its nails seem to be made from animal horns. The fish body of the dried mermaid is in the collection of Enju-in is covered with the skin of a croaker. What the hell is a croaker? Is that a fish? Or a frog? I don't know. Is that a croaker? No. And the upper body is made of cloth and paper, the team wrote. It's made of laminated paper and pufferfish skin with cotton and other fillings and a plaster-like substance at the base, and is presumed to have been made around the late 1800s.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the mer monkey of Japan is, it's a homunculus. It's a conglomeration of pieces and parts.
Rachel says a curiosity to some, soup ingredients to others. Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's what it was meant to promote.
Why are you so twisted?
Who? Rachel?
Rachel.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, she gets it right.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, she gets it right, and you're definitely among peers. You're definitely among peers here, Rachel. Very, very cool. Well, there you go. The mystery solved, allegedly. It's just paper mache and puffer fish and scales and parts and pieces from lots of different places. So, it's like a kid's crayon drawing. It's like, and this is Daddy.
Right? This is your great-great-grandmother 5 times removed.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but that's the answer, folks.
It must be Passover
It's
soup.
it's not real.
Because I'm going to pass it over.
All right.
Good. Elizabeth Dillinger. That's the first time I've seen that name.
Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in and joining the fun. So the next one up is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one is...
Well, Elaine, since you're eating, I'm going to try and make you either spit it out your nose or stop eating, one or the other. Let's see what we can do.
As long as you don't start discussing recipes, I don't care what you guys are doing.
Well, speaking
But
of
the
recipes,
minute I'm here reading articles and you're discussing recipes, we might be offline. How the hell did I do that? I just closed the article. Derp. Sorry about that.
wow. Nice
I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm trying to think of which one it was. Okay. No. Wasn't that one? Wasn't that one? Was it that one? Might have been this one. Okay. So going back to Japan,
Sweet.
we're going to go back for this one. And this article also takes place with news from Japan from unexplained-mysteries.com, folks. And this one says, authorities investigate mystery sphere on Japanese beach. Blame the Chinese. It's got to be China. Right, John? Right, Don?
Well, as long as it's not a balloon, we're okay.
We don't know. It's just kind of sitting in the sand. A mysterious metal sphere has been the focus of much speculation since it appeared on a beach in Hamamatsu. Authorities in Japan have been left scratching their heads over the mystery of a peculiar metallic sphere that was spotted this week on Enshu Beach on the country's Pacific coast. Isn't it all on the Pacific coast, the whole island? It's all Pacific coast, isn't it? Or is there a Sea of Japan there too?
Yeah, there's like, yes.
All right, sorry.
Something between that and
Yeah.
the mainland. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
It's called something else.
Darn cartographers.
Gosh darn it.
When it was first reported, concerns were raised that it could be some sort of bomb, prompting police to call in explosive experts to investigate it for signs that it could be a threat. Fortunately, X-ray scans of the object revealed that it was hollow, but the mystery surrounding exactly what it is and where it came from remains ongoing. Measuring around 1.5 meters in diameter, the rusted orangey brown sphere appears to be made of metal and has 2 handles at the top, suggesting it may have been hooked onto something. Maybe it's a buoy.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the ocean. It's maybe it was a buoy for something. Images have since been sent to the Coast Guard and to the Japanese Self-Defense Forces in an effort to identify what it could be. According to one local man, the sphere has actually been there for a month, and he was surprised it had suddenly become the center of attention. You can check out the footage of the object in the news report below.
Ooh.
From the Telegraph. Shall we check it out?
Certainly.
All right, let's look at it.
It's not like
I'm going to mute it, though. It says Japanese police have been cordoned off that beach after discovering a mysterious ball. It kind of does look like one of those World War II landmines, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know? Oh, well, David Hasselhoff, whatever. Authorities are worried the object might be dangerous. Yep, they're sitting there scanning. Okay. There it is again.
Wow.
From a helicopter, Don.
Yeah, nice.
It looks like a buoy. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
It looks like you remember hippity hops?
Oh, those things you bounce on?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elijah's got one of those from when he was a little dinky guy. Based on the rust on the surface, is believed to have been made of iron, but that's yet to be determined.
What else would it be made of?
I don't know.
It's made out of a high-grade plastic.
Japanese Defense Forces have been called in to inspect the object.
Thank
well, there
God.
you go. There's the object
Yeah.
for whatever it's worth, folks.
I object.
Look at that great show. Wicked
I know,
Wednesday.
Jeez, when was that?
Wait, that's now.
Oh my goodness.
It says live. We're live, Don.
Really?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, we're live.
Innocent until proven alive.
If we read chat, we must be alive. There you go. That's the article of a mysterious sphere, the mysterious buoy that washed up on Japan, and they called the bomb squad
A
for.
kaiju egg. Oh no.
Kaiju well, could have come from the rift. Who knows? That was Pacific Rim, right?
Yeah, that was Pacific Rim,
Kaiju.
yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, there you go. It's a metal hollow sphere.
I
folks.
saw that in 3D.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
That seems like it would be a good movie in 3D. I like the kaiju movies, and Godzilla and such, King Kong. Godzilla versus King Kong was good. King of Monsters, Godzilla. I was a big Godzilla junkie. I don't know why. I just was. Gojira. Gojira. All right, here's the next one from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is another fine piece of news and information. Pilot reports dancing lights during airport approach in new audio.
Wow.
There you go, Don.
Wow.
Unexplained-mysteries.com tells us this. An audio recording of a pilot discussing the unexplained sighting with air traffic control has been released online. The incident, which occurred on January 29th, involved a flight from Fort McMurray, Atlanta, to Yellowknife, Canada, as it was approaching the city at around 11:15 p.m. The exchange between the pilot and air traffic control can be heard in the video below. Well, good. We'll get to that in just a minute. Good evening. Just wondering, do you got two planes that are just to the east of your field doing circuits or maneuvers? The pilot asked. Negative. I have no reported traffic in the area. Air traffic control replied. Do you have a visual on something? Yeah, we're looking at two lights dancing around here to the east of your field, said the pilot. They're above us about, I don't know what. We're not seeing them on TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, but we can see the lights moving around. I don't have anything on radar either. Let me talk to Center, Air Traffic Control stated. Hey, Center doesn't have anything about any movement in the area, so I'm really wondering what you're seeing there. I don't see them from the ground here. Well, I'll keep an eye out.
Nice.
Ultimately, no positive identification of the objects was ever made. Shoot a missile at them. That's the answer.
Yeah, there you go.
Just lob missiles. Anything.
Miss the first two. You'll be okay.
Just follow the United States on this. Just lob missiles. Just shoot missiles. Whatever. You don't know what it is. Bomb it. Let's see what it says. I don't know who this is from.
Tower, it's Arctic 5071. Arctic 5071, Yellowknife Radio, good evening.
Jeez.
Good evening. Just wondering, do you got two planes that are just to the east of your field doing circuits or maneuvers? Negative. I have no reported traffic in the area. Do you have a visual or something? Yeah, I'm looking at two lights dancing around here.
Again, pilots know what they should be seeing, right? I mean, so that makes what they're seeing even more credible in my eyes.
You know what the problem is, though? Is that everything that a pilot sees comes out of the blue.
Ooh. All right, you get a rim shot. I'll give you that. It is true they come out of the blue, but you gotta give pilots credit as observers of aerial phenomena because they're in the skies. That's where these guys work. Right. So if they're seeing something they don't know, that's pretty concerning. Let's keep listening a little bit here.
That to the east of your field, they're above us. Well, I don't know what. We're not seeing them on TCAS, but you can see the lights moving around. I don't have anything on the radar either. Let me talk to Center. Arctic 5071 Yellowknife Radio. Say go ahead. Hey, Center doesn't have anything about any movement in the area, so...
This is a red flag.
I'm really wondering what you're seeing there. Yeah, so are we.
Yeah, so are we.
Wow. You said they're over your position? No, they're above us. We're in this density of 12,000 feet. We're 30 miles back from your field over the lake.
You know, as expensive as planes are, do you think they could have a little better audio? If they're recording this, it's like two kids with a soup can going on here, man, isn't it?
Yep.
It's terrible audio.
Yeah, we're seeing them just to the east of the city, probably by maybe 20, 30 miles, but they're well above us. We saw them when we were going through 20,000 feet. They look somewhat parallel for altitude.
So they're about 20,000 feet. Wow. What?
Ninja Dave says, just shoot it! Shoot it!
Just, yeah.
Shoot it!
Shoot the missiles. Come on, let's go. Let's blow it up. Let's get them out of the sky. No, I'm just tongue in cheek here. I don't understand the whole approach that's going on through all of this.
Right.
With all these anomalous things in the skies that we're just lobbing missiles at. It's like, well, what is it? Don't you think you should know before you launch an explosive at it? I mean, really? I mean, this is not deep math here. I mean,
Right.
it's like, this is addition and subtraction. This is not calculus.
All right, I'm trying to look. I don't see them from the ground here. Well, I'll keep an eye out. I'll talk with Center again. Yeah, no worries, just so we know we're not gonna. They're not a risk to us. We just saw something different. We just didn't know what it was. If you guys had it painted on the radar. No, we got nothing. That's quite strange. Do you guys want an advisory? Yeah, sure, might as well. We're planning it for the RNAV, visual RNAV runway 34, direct Maybach at this time.
And there you have it. I mean, there's more to it, but I'm not going to torture you with the bad audio anymore. But yeah, it's crazy. There's lots of things in the sky all of a sudden, and I don't know. I mean, I hope it's extraterrestrial, because if there's terrestrial stuff that's flying around like this, that's really concerning. I mean, if it's balloons, it's balloons. Big deal. I mean, there's lots of reasons to launch high altitude balloons, from scientific study to hobbyists to any number of reasons.
Right.
So that's not a big deal. But these guys are talking about lights doing maneuvers. So these are not just a balloon floating lazily by with the airstream.
Right.
This is something that's doing maneuvers and is very anomalous to the pilot. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this kind of stuff, but I think it's err on the side of caution, and I don't know.
Shoot it!
And lob missiles.
Shoot it!
Yeah. It's like, those jarts, those lawn darts.
I love
Jarts.
We survived those in the 80s.
Oh my God, we used to have jart wars.
Yes.
We were those kids. We were so stupid.
I used to take jarts and throw them at like pheasants and stuff, trying to dart the pheasant and
A pheasant?
the grouse.
Did you ever get close?
Nope.
No, they're generally pretty good at avoiding jarts.
Well,
Apparently.
yeah. They're pretty good at it, yeah.
Yeah, well.
But just don't blindfold yourself and throw them straight up in the air.
Did you do that?
I have.
And?
Don't do it.
Did you get hit? Did you get hit by it?
No, just don't do it.
Yeah, no, that's we did BB gun fights. We did darts,
Yep.
like dartboard dart fights.
Jeez, yeah.
I'd be pulling those out of my leg and shoulder and stuff. And
Right?
we do bottle rocket fights. We were just
And we're still alive.
I know. I mean, we
I don't know how, but we're still alive.
by the grace of God, it's amazing I only got blind in one eye. So, partially anyway. But yeah. That's craziness
Spud
right there.
Guns. No, spud guns are still a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that and the tennis ball guns,
Yeah,
you launch them with starter fluid. I was watching on a show, and they were doing the tennis ball guns, and like, we're going to spring in this chemical. We're not going to let you know what it is. Well, it's maybe I better not say.
Yeah, probably not. It's probably
there's
not.
probably legalities involved, but it's like, yeah, it's not real hard to find a real flammable aerosol. You can probably just throw a stick in your garage and hit about 15 candidates. Candidates. See, all this is unintentional. I'm not that witty. I'm really not. I don't know how I do that, but
Bottle rocket fights. Yes, Sasquatch.
yes. We did them
rocket
all
fights,
the time. Roman candles,
I was
bottle
trying to
rockets.
remember
Yep.
that,
Yeah,
We used to lob M80s at each other.
Oh my God! How many blackjacks or like
Oh my
regular
God.
firecrackers blew up in your hands?
Yeah, well.
That is one of the worst feelings ever.
Yeah.
My thumb was numb for like 3 hours after I forgot to throw it.
His thumb was numb.
Yeah, my thumb was numb.
Numb thumb.
Yeah, numb thumb. All right, let's move on to other UFO news. And this is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is, here is the philosophical debate about whether or not you lob missiles at them.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
Just
Thanks, Troy.
take them down. All right, here you go from Unexplained-Mysteries. Should the objects shot down over the U.S. be defined as UFOs? I guess it's what do you define them as? Okay. I misread that a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, yes. Because it means unidentified flying object.
All right, until you get it on the ground and look at it, It's unidentified.
Yeah, and it might be on the ground too. I mean, if it's unidentified, it's unidentified. This is, I mean, the idea that UFO has to equal extraterrestrial is that's not true. And I don't know why people are having a debate about this. But let's see what they said. Or do we want to?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Not that it's a little long just to say it's a UFO. All right, we'll read it. Space policy expert Wendy Whitman Cobb. Geez, another good use of the tax dollars. Takes a look at the modern UFO phenomena and what we mean by UFO. Unidentified flying object.
Well, I think they're just trying to switch over to UAP.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's all stupid.
A UFO is an obsolete thing now.
Says on the heels of the February 4th, 2023 shooting down of a Chinese balloon suspected of spying on the U.S., American fighter jets have shot down 3 additional objects in or near U.S. airspace. I think it's 4 now, right? Or maybe it is 3 additional. I don't know. When the media asked Glenn Van Herk, the Air Force general responsible for overseeing North American airspace, about these events, he refused to rule out extraterrestrial forces at play. Other military officials later claimed that the otherworldly origins aren't a serious consideration, but the comment highlighted the U.S. government's lack of knowledge about these objects. They're unidentified.
Lack of intelligence.
Anybody with knowledge, please raise your hand. I mean, come on. As a space policy expert, I'm often confronted with questions about UFOs and little green people. However, as these recent events have shown, a UFO is far more likely to be human-made rather than originating from some faraway place in the universe. What does UFO mean? Unidentified flying object. All right. Or UFO for short. I can't believe she wasted a paragraph on this. Is the term that has historically been used to describe aircraft that aren't easily identified or explained.
Well, duh.
Man, she gets paid for this.
Wow.
The modern UFO craze in the U.S. dates to the late 1940s and early 50s, coinciding with the development of new technology like rockets and missiles. Today, the U.S. government uses the phrase unidentified aerial phenomenon.
UAP.
Yeah. Or UAPs.
Oh.
There you go, Don. This change is partially to try to disassociate the term from science fiction aliens. The term also encourages greater scientific study and reflects the fact that many of these objects end up being strange atmospheric phenomena or tricks of camera equipment.
So I want to call BS on that statement right there. To disassociate. The term also encourages greater scientific study. You're a liar.
Well, maybe
Nobody
what that means
wants to touch that.
Yeah, but maybe it means that scientists would rather study UAPs than UFOs because it's the new buzzword.
Stigma.
I mean, if that's the case, these scientists need to be like handing out carts at Walmart.
Right.
If they're going to worry about the semantics like that,
right.
They're not really interested in doing their job.
You know what? Maybe we should get Tom Dingling to do it. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, maybe. Taking a serious look, there are thousands of unconfirmed UAP sightings by the public each year, but until recently, there was no formal way for the U.S. to track these sightings. It's like, well, we've been doing it on our own just fine. MUFON, New Force.
Citizen scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
Not credible.
That lack of interest began to change in 2020 when the Pentagon officially released 3 videos taken from the cockpits of fighter jets showing unidentified objects moving in mysterious ways. She moves in mysterious ways. The following year, in 2021, Congress mandated the creation of the assessment on UAPs as part of the report. All 6 pages of it.
Right.
Or what was it, 20 pages, whatever?
Well, it's only 6 pages unredacted.
Yeah. The Director of National Intelligence identified 144 first-hand accounts of UAP from military aviators and government sensors between 2004 and 2021. The report identifies several potential explanations for UAPs, including clutter, an umbrella term that includes, for example, birds, balloons, and drones. Other explanations include natural atmospheric phenomena such as ice crystals and thermal fluctuations, as well as secret technologies being developed by the U.S. or other nations.
No way.
It is the last category that has drawn attention. No, it's the extraterrestrial one that's most interesting. With the U.S. military shooting down a number of balloons and unidentified objects in the last week, countries like China and Russia can gather a significant amount of intelligence using satellites. But balloons and potentially other technologies as yet unknown by the American public represents other ways to collect sensitive data. If the U.S. military or government can't identify a new technology, it's easy to classify the object as a UAP or UFO. Come on. What's, potatoes. In 2022 alone, the Pentagon received 247 new UAP reports, about half of which were eventually attributed to balloons or balloon-like entities.
Are there really that many freaking balloons floating around the United States? Really?
Maybe they should quit selling so many.
Oh my God.
What the hell's a balloon-like entity?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Sounds like an X. No, I'm just...
Oh my God.
Actually, sounds like me.
Marge.
Sounds like me. At the same time, it's also easy to miss UAPs if people don't know what to look for. Does it look like a plane? No. Does it look like a helicopter? No.
It must be a balloon.
Is it a balloon? No.
It's a balloon light?
You balloon-like?
A satellite?
No.
A satelloon?
UAP. Done.
Oh, my goodness.
Done.
How weird is that?
Wow.
Hey, I got a question for you. Why didn't they just say UFO?
I don't know. This is your tax dollars at work right here. I'm almost done with it.
Says, "Oh, that's where Harry Potter's aunt went." Well, it was actually Dudley's aunt, but what? Okay.
At the same time, it's also easy to miss UAPs if people don't know what to look for.
The attack of the gender reveal balloons.
We blew it up and it's blue. It's all black smoke. And that didn't sound right, did it? Sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
That has something to do with choosing the new pope.
The gender reveal is either blue or pink. And if it's hit by a missile, it's just a flash of gunpowder, is what I meant. Whether future UAPs are balloons, secret technologies, or something else, there will continue to be a greater national focus on studying UAPs and your tax dollars at work.
There you go.
That's how they justify new programs. It's so sad. And an increasing ability to detect them. It's likely that reports will continue to pour in and U.S. aircraft will keep tracking them down. Good job. So Wendy Whitman, who wrote this, Wendy Whitman Cobb, professor of strategy and security studies at Air University. Huh. Is that like next to Hogwarts or what? I don't even know. This article is republished from The Conversation under a Creative Commons license. I mean, it's fine. I don't know. It's just, what do we need to have this discussion, really? I mean, this was, I don't know.
Elizabeth also says, you joke, but I'm more afraid of being set on fire because of a gender reveal party than I am being killed from a Chinese space balloon.
Yeah. That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
How many videos of that are out there on TikTok? The exploding balloons. We used hydrogen to inhale.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the lengthy, very, very wise and necessary conversation needs to be had down about UAPs and becoming aware. Do you know what it is? No, it's a UAP. Done. I could have done that in one sentence. All right, let's go to the next one. Wow. Okay, from unexplained-mysteries.com, World of the Bizarre from February 19th, 2023. Man dubbed the Easter Bunny steals 200,000 chocolate eggs.
That's a lot of friggin' chocolate eggs.
That thief managed to make off with an eye-wateringly large amount of confectionery worth over $38,000.
Wow.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole black market of chocolate eggs now. Easter might still be a couple of months away, but that didn't stop 32-year-old Joby Poole.
It's probably Joby.
Joby Poole. he needs a Joby is what's going on here, though.
I wonder if you take the P out of the ool.
Yeah, well, you always should. From getting a hold of some chocolate eggs, 200,000 of them to be exact.
Wow.
In one of the weirdest heists we've ever heard of, Poole reportedly used a metal grinder to break through a lock gate at an industrial park in Telford, England, and then stole a semi-truck pulling an entire trailer filled with thousands of Cadbury cream eggs.
The whole damn thing?
I love those.
Love
those eggs.
There's only 200,000 of them in the back of a semi.
How big are Cadbury eggs? They're like the size of
big.
eggs.
They're only that big.
Yeah, that's like the size of a farm egg.
No, not my eggs, but yeah, once you buy at the store, sure.
How big are your eggs, Don?
You want to feed?
No.
they call them huevos. There you go.
They call them hell no's. He didn't actually get very far, however, as police officers following up on the break-in stopped his truck on the highway and promptly placed him under arrest. Well, good job, Columbo.
Yeah, exactly.
Why's that Cadbury truck driving away? Shouldn't that be going? Poole later pleaded guilty and was found to have a prior conviction for handling stolen goods.
No kidding.
Yeah. So this wasn't his gateway to worse crime. He's already habitual. Exactly how he'd intended to sell off such a huge quantity of chocolate eggs without attracting attention to himself remains unclear. His sentence is expected to take place next month. He was going to jump in a bunny suit. He had bunches of baskets.
He was just going to hand them all out.
He was going to go to all kinds of children's homes.
Vegas Dirt Pusher says, what the heck do you do with 200,000 Choco eggs? Where do you offload them? Apparently at Brent's house. I don't want them. I actually don't like Cadbury cream eggs.
I do. I like those things.
I like the Cadbury
I used to.
eggs.
They're too rich now.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I could eat the hell out of Cadbury cream eggs. I would destroy those things back in the day.
I never liked those. I like the truffle ones, the chocolate truffle eggs.
Okay.
But I don't like the Cadbury cream eggs.
Okay, well.
Just like cracking it open and seeing that stuff in there.
All right, well, I'm going to read one more and then we're going to close out the news because we are burning a lot of oil on this one. This is one last article from unexplained-mysteries.com, folks, your location for fun. And this one is secret FBI files on Civil War era gold have been released under court order. So somebody was trying not to release them. They wanted to keep the locations or potential locations themselves. A trove of documents, photographs, and records pertaining to the FBI's search for the lost gold hoard has been published. According to local lore, a shipment of Union gold that was on its way to the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia disappeared without a trace in 1863, leading to a treasure hunt that remains ongoing 150 years later. Dennis Parada, who's been investigating the mystery for years, is one of the growing number of people who believe that the FBI, who previously excavated a site in Dents Run, Pennsylvania, actually found the gold and then covered up the fact that they'd recovered it. According to the Bureau, the site had been excavated after testing indicated that the gold could have been buried there. It continues to maintain, however, that the search had come up empty. I'll bet it did.
So you're telling me that a government agency is going to tell the truth? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, that's the implication. I can't speak to their intent.
Implication, yes.
That's the implication. Parada and his advisors, meanwhile, believe that the FBI has been distorting evidence, withholding records, and concealing key information in order to keep the treasure's discovery a secret. The case has certainly been gaining traction, with a federal judge having already ordered the FBI to turn over multiple documents pertaining to the dig, and there is the possibility that it will also be ordered to hand over additional files, including its operational plan for excavating the site. There's even a chance that efforts to locate the gold at Dents Run could be resumed. Whether or not the gold is or ever was at the site, however, continues to remain a mystery. So there you go. Looking for gold, go to Dents Run. It might just be laying under the ground somewhere.
Looking for gold in all the wrong places.
Maybe. They might be in the wrong place. It's hard to say. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to conclude the news for tonight. Hope you guys learned something you didn't know or walking away with some brand new information in your head. You're welcome.
Congratulations. You're the only one.
Who?
Whoever that walks away with.
I learned some things tonight. I'm definitely on that roster. All right, let's go back to the rest of the show.
All right.
There it is, folks. Most trusted news right here. You heard it here first, or maybe not first, but you heard it here as well. I don't know. I think I could be plenty happy finding an old store of lost gold. I wonder if whoever finds it, do they get to keep it or do they get a percentage or how does that work? I don't know. I'm not sure about that because, I mean, when it comes to gold especially, it's like, oof, I think we need to keep that for historical providence or whatever. And then they start painting some lead bricks gold, stacking them in a museum. Could be free gold, Paradox fossils. It could be. Hard to say. Your mind is blown. Good, John. Glad your mind is blown. Great to have you guys here, by the way. Thank you, everybody that's come in to be a part of the journey tonight. It's always a pleasure to be doing the portal and to have you guys here with me because I'd look kind of stupid doing this alone. I mean, I might look stupid anyway, but less stupid because you're here. So we are going to get into the next segment of the show, which is a fun segment for me. I don't know. How do we do? We got a few answers. Good job, guys. All right, so the Discord community rallied tonight and pulled out some great answers. Well, answers anyway. I'm sure they're all great, though, because you guys are never disappointed when it comes to the Discord question of the week. I'm trying to buy some time here as Don had to run to the loo, so... but I guess we could just get right into it. Why not? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the question of the week. Oops, not that one. This one. I'll remember my button someday, ladies and gentlemen. It'll happen. You're just going to be absolutely amazed at my ability to remember buttons someday. But until then, I'll keep forgetting. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our Discord you're seeing on the screen, and this is basically, thanks to Sheldon, we have a Discord server, and this is it. And if you look over here, if you join Discord, here's Paranormal Portal, and everything else that you see on this screen is our Discord community. And we'd love to see you guys get involved, so let me do an invite. Put an invite into the chat that you guys can see if you so choose. And if you use Discord and are new to the show and like, yeah, I'd like to join that. Well, here's how you do it. You click that link. That should launch your Discord and bring you right into the server. And if you're in here, you'll land on this page. This is the general. And this is where there's just general conversations going on. Things. When you see a red line like this, these are things I've read that are above it. These are things I haven't read below it. So that's what this red line means for any of you that are new to Discord. And so these are things I have yet to read. But if you look on the left panel here, these are all the different threads, discussion threads going on. There's Bigfoot, there's Dogman, ghosts, UFOs, extraterrestrial encounters, cryptids, music, which has been kind of cool. There's some great songs people have linked up here, as well as strange phenomena. And there's... there you go. So this is the Discord community, and the part that we're interested in right now is the Discord question of the week. Now, what this is before every live show, if I'm doing my job, there will be a question placed in our Discord community to hear what you guys have to say about different questions that I ask. And I take suggestions. If any of you have questions you'd like to have to ask the Discord community for their inputs, then by all means let me know. But I post a question and therefore the Discord community rallies and comes up with their 2 cents on it, their take on what the phenomena is. And I've been absolutely blown away by the feedback you guys are giving. Again, with the paranormal, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Right, Don?
Sure.
Well, nobody does know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody will know.
And so, yeah, we'll know. Nobody will know. And so this is the Discord community, and here's the question of the week. So,
oh, there we go.
Yeah, I forgot to unmute you. Well, you weren't here, so.
Well, yeah. It's a good thing I wasn't here.
Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, you know how to run it. All right, so the Discord question of the week for this day. Do you have that open, Don, or no?
I can.
Do you have
quickly.
Your glasses?
No, I don't wear my glasses.
Oh, okay.
Don's not sexy in glasses.
Well, do you want me to just read it then?
No, I can read it.
Okay, Don's going to read the question and the responses. So,
Oh, well, I guess I better get question of the day. There we go.
Question of the
Question
week.
Whatever.
It's
All
a
right,
week.
let's see here. Okay, Wednesday show. Oftentimes we hear of dimensions or some beings perhaps being extra dimensional. What is a dimension to you? How would you explain the nature of what a dimension is? Is it a place? Is it a state of being? And thank you, Father Mike, for the question. There you go. So is it a place or a being, or what is it to you is the question. Buzzacino. Oh, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Buzzacino. Energy never dies. It always transforms into another kind of energy. Energy from one dimension to another changes to the frequency of the receiving dimension, allowing change in the new dimension. So to me, the future bleeds energy from other future dimensions, and the past dissipates energy into the past dimensions, to keep the energy flowing and balanced. Well, there you go. So dimensions could be a multiverse balancer of time and energy. Wow, can I get some of that?
Maybe.
Colleen Bow. Obviously, you've heard the term the thinning of the veil. Pretty sure it has something to do with that. I feel there are different dimensions all around us, and maybe it's portals that open us up to these dimensions. It's a strange world where we are living in. The Bible talks about some of this in Ephesians 6 about principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of the world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. These beings are somewhere that they can't see,
that we can't see
with the naked eye right now, but they exist and are here. I feel other dimensions are not a place, but right in front of us and around us. Okay, so they share the same space. It
so
goes,
it's like a frequency.
Yeah, exactly. It goes to that visual frequency. We can't see them because they're phased out of our vision, our color spectrum, things like that. Sure, yeah. Chucky Danger, what's up, Chuck? Different laws of frequency and vibration than what we observe and understand could be extra dimensional. Sometimes when other worldly beings are observed, they are vibrating in a weird manner. Yeah, like the Flash. Yeah. It's something that is fully comprehensible to humans. It's not something that's fully comprehensible to humans yet. Spicy Blue, that's a new name.
Yeah, Spicy Blue, welcome. Good to see you.
This is way too simple of an observation, but I think about what used to bother me and draw my attention compared to how I feel about things now. I no longer see a lot of the annoyances, not because they aren't there, but because my perception has shifted. Yes, I can see through situations and experiences easier. I think of the dimensions in this way, because if I see myself as a victim, I'm totally drawn into the event. Nice. I can relive it with the same emotion as when it happened. I can choose to be neutral and observe. I can choose to believe that I can learn from it even when the outcome is less than ideal. That's when you should be learning. Maybe we change dimensions when we change perceptions, or at least part of it. I agree with the shifting of our energies. If we can release what needs to go and make room for new, we aren't bothered by the old stuff anymore. Yeah, true enough. That's like, when you grow up, you realize that, I realized, I'm like, do I really need these friends? Are these friends going to further my goals with me or for me? And usually we start to, let those things go. And it's not just friends, but it's situations, it's things we do, so absolutely. That's great. Maggie M10, she says, I think I would explain it in terms of growth in some form and expansion of consciousness, or something. That's great, coming on the heels of what Spicy Blue just said. A broadening of perspectives to know that we, as three-dimensional beings, are limited and cannot truly comprehend a 4D tesseract blows my mind. It would require existing in the fourth dimension to be able to see it, touch it, and interact with it completely. We only need a piece of paper to understand 2D perspective, but again, anything in the 2 dimensions would not be able to see anything in the 3 dimensions fully, just a small part of it, and interpret it based on 2D perspectives. Thanks. That's a great question. One that I can't fully answer. Yeah. So once again, we can go talk about like flatlanders, the idea of the flatlanders, if you know what that is. If you don't, well, do me a favor, go look it up. Just here and there, 66. I would say that what people call heaven and hell are different dimensions. We are energetic beings, and our energies, spirits, can cross dimensions when we die. So dimensions are existing worlds divided by the veil or energies. You have to have the right frequency to pass through to the other dimensions. Portals are doorways to them. Some energies can go to many dimensions and some to only a few. Well, there you go. Interesting thoughts. Mm-hmm. What do you say?
You know, I think dimensions are frequency. I think frequency and dimension are, to me, one and the same. Although, because one dimension is a line, 2 dimensions is a line in width and height.
Right.
3 dimensions includes depth.
Right.
Four dimensions, it goes in a weird way. It's like, well, some people say the 4th dimension is time, but I don't think that that's quite right. I personally, and I don't know why, it just doesn't feel right. Maybe in some physics circles it is, and that's fine, but I think in dimensions as frequency.
Right.
And maybe time is equally a dimension, because it does keep us in this present experience. We can remember the past, and we can think about the future, but all of those are the past is concrete in our minds. The future is in flux, but it does seem like frequency. So when I think of dimensions, I'm thinking of existential, like planes, like if you stacked a bunch of plates. And currently we're primarily living in the 3rd dimension. Maybe we touch 4th dimension stuff when we dream or astral project or something. Maybe that's the 4th dimension.
Sure.
And then maybe we pass to a different dimension upon passing from this world, and then, so on and so forth. But they seem to be, to me, it seems like a barrier of sorts. Mm-hmm. We've got 3 dimensions we work with, plus time as a 4th dimension. And so what lies beyond? Well, I mean, we've covered plenty of stories throughout the course of this show where people are going through gateways and ending up somewhere else.
Right. And
in some other experience. Now, I don't know. I think there's a difference between dimension and a multiverse.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking more of a multiverse kind of thing. But to me, those are almost relatable, and I don't know if they are or not, but, I'm just not a physics-minded person. I do think that our source connects us to all things, so we are existing. I believe we are multidimensional beings, not just 3 and 4 dimensions, but, probably countless dimensions, like, because we're alive and existing, therefore we're connected to this divine mind that created all things. And so we do exist in more dimensions than what we're currently experiencing. And that's where I look at dreams and out-of-body projecting and travel, because that's a very real experience for the people that are having them. I've had lucid dreams that happened somewhere.
Right.
And I was seeing deceased relatives or experiencing things in a very hyper-real way that are so foreign to my normal ponderings of my unconscious sleeping mind.
Right.
So I know I was somewhere, but where? Well, is that a dimension? Is that something like that I was in a different part of this sandwich that is our reality? Just because we can't perceive these other dimensions, perhaps, that doesn't make them not real. We're so used to, I can see it, I can touch it, it's real. But if it's conceptualizing it, it becomes hard. And that's why I think we have trouble thinking about 4th and 5th and 6th dimensional stuff, because it adds an equation on top of it that our minds just can't get around, because we're so anchored to our 3-dimensional experience. Now, Is it possible some of these things that visit us are extra dimensional? Are they perhaps not from here, but have the ability to traverse through here, or to experience here and then choose not to experience and go back to their home dimensions? Maybe. I mean, I can't quantify what that means, mentally, but I don't know. What do you think, Don?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, these are all fantastic ideas about the shifting of energies and the portals and, the thinning of the veils and things like this. But I don't really have much to say about it, really.
It's hard.
What it is that I just concentrate on today. There's not much more I can do.
Here and now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, if I don't know, I don't know how to explain that. But
well, I mean, could it be that psychics that are able to see deceased people or ghosts or other visions like that, are they touching another dimension? Are they somehow aware of another dimension of existence?
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of it's a real conundrum, and that's, I think, what Father Mike was after with the question, because he basically said, I hear discussions of dimensions, but I'd be really interested to see what people conceptualize those as. And so thank you to everybody for giving us what you think and feel about that, because I agree. They're fascinating subjects, and I'd love to understand it more, but I think, Don, you're actually onto something, because we do have to live and experience our lives, and we have to be here and now,
right,
to get to where we want to be. But I think there are people that, and I think all people touch these other dimensions, right, again, like if you astrally project, or if you're having some incredibly lucid dreams, or something like that.
I've had dreams that were just so real. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe at that point I was projecting or drifting, shall we say, something, outside, through my, after the consciousness, falls away and the subconscious comes to play. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so busy just trying to, just make myself better today for tomorrow. Yeah. And then if tomorrow manifests as a different dimension, well, I guess I'll have to deal with it, huh? Yeah. But honestly, I really don't know what else to say other than, what the heck can I do? Yeah.
Well, there's probably no real qualifiable answer.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, nothing quantifiable. Yeah. No, absolutely not. But
so we can conceptualize and throw out ideas and theories, and that's like all of the paranormal. We're not asking for you to define reality here. We're just asking, what does it mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Can you mute that, baby?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. All right. So, but thank you, everybody that did contribute to this discussion. I appreciate everything you guys put on the board, and fascinating. You guys really hit some great points, and I wish I could say, I have an idea, but I have no idea. Once you start to really break it down into words and ideas and possibilities, it just becomes this soup. And I don't know, my head just gets lost in it.
Right.
I'm not that deep and complex, I guess, but that's been the question of the week. So please, if you want, join our Discord server. You can be a part of these discussions. There'll be questions posted before every live show, unless we have guests, and then of course not. One thing I do want to say, though, for those of you watching and listening out there, is that just yesterday I was able to finally make it happen.
Oh?
Yeah. And I've been working on it for a week and a half pretty straight, but I finally got everything working correctly. And most of it was just me not really understanding, I guess, because the instructions were there. But we had to troubleshoot with Libsyn support and finally got everything working. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still unfamiliar with what is the Paranormal Portal podcast versus what is the Paranormal Portal live stream on YouTube, then I would encourage you to check out our YouTube channel, because you're going to see something has changed.
Yes.
What has changed, you may ask? Well, let me show you.
Yes, Brent. What has changed?
Well, I'll
Let
tell
me
you,
ask the
Don.
question first.
Yeah.
What has changed? I'll tell you, Don. Okay, great.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our YouTube page. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And what I want you to pay attention to is, if you scroll down a little bit,
What is that right there?
it says podcast episodes.
Wow.
So basically what I've done is so far, now I got to say a few things about this first. So far, I've posted season 4, which is our current season of podcast episodes. Now the podcast is audio only.
Audio only.
But there's an image there of the podcast art that we use to promote the shows on all the various platforms, whether it's iTunes, iHeart, etc. And there are 31 episodes here currently, and we'll be adding to this as new episodes are launched, as well as older seasons. So season 3 we're going to post, and season 2. And we're going to do that in the near future. I just got season 4, 31 episodes out there now, just to see what the feedback is, if you guys like it. But I always tell you guys, look, if you're watching the YouTube live streams, this isn't the podcast. Well, now through YouTube,
is out there.
you can see the podcast as well, and it's right here. This is all these episodes. They're not in numerical order. I'm going to look at how to get them more orderly, but the idea is that, you know, there's 31 of them currently, and you can click and listen, or you can just click on the podcast episodes header itself and get the whole playlist here, and you can listen to them. And then you'll be familiar with the Paranormal Portal podcast. Now, I will say, this is the YouTube version of it. It is still available on Spotify, Pandora, Google Play, iHeart, iTunes, CastBox, Stitcher, and a gajillion other ones. But it's here now. So this should clear up any misconceptions about whether you're on YouTube watching the podcast or not. Now you can be.
Right.
Now, I have to also offer an apology, because one side effect to this, and I didn't realize when I was doing it, but once I actually populated this list, it sent out 31 individual notifications that a new episode was posted to any of you that have notifications on. I watched our sub count drop 30 people because suddenly there was 31 new notifications, and I'm sure it flooded their notifications on YouTube. So my apologies for that. I don't know how not to do that. And actually, this is only a partial season. Most of the seasons have 52 episodes, and some 53 and 54. So just so you know, if you see those come up in advance, I'm sorry. But you will know that there's new podcasts to listen to if you make it through all 31 of these. There will be over 100 more of them.
Hundreds more.
In the near future. I don't know exactly when I'm going to release season 3 on this yet, but it'll be coming, and just stay tuned. But I just want an opportunity to introduce you guys to the podcast, another way that you can tune in and listen if you choose to. And hopefully you guys will choose to follow it as well on Spotify and other platforms, like when you're not home and not on YouTube. So it's there, and I appreciate all the wonderful feedback I've gotten so far. Thank you all very much for that. That really does mean the world. Doesn't it, Don?
It means so much.
So much. So that's out there now. If you want to check out the podcast, check it out on YouTube or any of the other major platforms. So there, at least on the other major platforms, you can listen to all the shows. But currently on YouTube, I've got just season 4 up until current episodes, which is 31 of them. So if you want to go through and listen to those, love to have you do it. There's some great interviews that we did in season 4, and some marvelous episodes. All of them are marvelous, but you know what I'm saying.
Marvelous.
They're simply marvelous.
Marvelous.
So I hope you guys will check it out, and you're welcome.
Why, thanks.
Why, thank you so much for flooding my notifications. All right, so we're going to get on to more of the paranormal stuff you love so much. How are we doing for time? 8:08. 8:08.
808 kick drum makes goes get down. Roll he goes when he gets them.
Okay.
Every time we do this, like as he was on the battle.
All right, Don. Welcome back to the portal.
I'm a man that love to hate this.
All right. We're not here to flow. All right, so let's get back to the rest of what we're doing. But before we do that, let me do this. Oops, not that. This. All right, and if anybody wants to call in, you got something to share or some paranormal tidbit or experience of your own, feel free to do so. You can call the number that's on your screen right below my face.
The number.
And Don's face as well.
720-923-0500.
That's right. So that's the way to do it. All right, now we got a bunch of more things.
That's the way we do it.
All right, so first off, what was this one? Oh, that was the whole article, though, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Where was I? Here?
I don't know.
All right. This is a different one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. That one, and then what is this one? Oh, this one. I'll hit this after we do this. Sweet. A few of these. All right, so we're going to hit an article now. And again, it's not a paranormal publication, but it's what we like to call Reddit scrapes, where they do these conglomerate articles. They basically pose a question in Reddit, or they farm Reddit groups for people's feedback and their responses. And this one is coming from motorsearches.com, which is odd. But these are coincidences. And we covered a bunch of these in the last show. Sometimes coincidences are incredible events. Why is that up there? That shouldn't be up there. Why is that there? I don't know. I'm going to turn it off, though. You don't need that frame.
Oh.
All right.
You
so
circle the big fat guy with a red circle. There you go. Thanks, buddy.
I didn't even have a red circle. What are you talking about? But coincidences, I think, are fascinating and fantastic because they seemed, in some cases, to be divine interventions or messages, or there's more of a message involved with the experience than just strange, weird events happening. Sometimes it makes people scratch their heads. Sometimes I think they're just reminders that, hey, there's something more. Wake up. Wake up. You're stuck in your little box. The world is bigger. And so I think they're kind of maybe divine reminders in some cases, or at least good reminders to break us out of our little boxes. But this one that we're going to read now is You Look Familiar. When I was on a flight from Florida to California, I sat next to a guy I had never seen before. We talked most of the flight about random stuff. Well, 6 months later, I took another flight, and I somehow ended up sitting next to him again. It was on a different airline, different departure city, and different arrival city. It was really odd. I think you were supposed to know each other. Wouldn't you think so, Don?
Huh? Say something I gotta...
Well, welcome to the show, Don.
Sitting him again. Oh.
They sat on one flight, and then 6 months later she got on another flight from another city, a different airline, everything. Ends up sitting next to the same guy. What are the odds?
Pretty not good.
Pretty astronomical.
There you go.
Pretty not good. Well, unless they end up mortal enemies. Then it's not good. All right, Her Mistake Changed My Life is up next. It said,
boy.
Years ago, I was on AIM. Wow, that is a long time ago. Isn't that AOL Instant Messenger?
Oh, yeah.
I just turned on the option that allowed anyone to contact me, not just buddies. One day, I received an instant message from a random woman. She'd gone to a bar where a guy had told her his screen name, but instead of writing it down, she just tried to remember it. When she tried to contact him, she had typed my screen name and instead. I told her she had the wrong guy, and she apologized and went on her way. Well, her mistake changed my entire life. She'd kept me on her buddy list and saw my design website in my profile. A few days later, I received an IM from her again stating that she thought I was talented. We started chatting daily and got to know each other really well. We met for the first time in person 9 months after meeting online. We eventually got engaged. Had I left my contact options restricted, and had I not been online at that moment, we would have never talked.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool. See, That's divine providence, right? I mean, they were supposed to connect. And that's the amazing thing. What are the odds, folks? That's why I love coincidences. There's some people say there are no coincidences, and I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Not completely. There's some things I hope are. Back in the days of cassettes, I went to a music store looking for some music by Sam and Dave. You ever heard of Sam and Dave?
No, it sounds like a great fish dish, though.
Sam and
Dave.
Yeah. There was nothing on the shelves, but they had a huge vat of dollar tapes in the back of the store. Well, there were about 1,000 tapes literally dumped into a giant bin. I saw nothing of interest on the surface, but just for laughs, I plunged my hand into the tapes. I wormed my way down as far as I could and closed my fingers around a random box. I pulled it up. It was a tape from a set of American music released in Italy. And there was Martha Reeves, The Association, and wouldn't you know it, Sam and Dave.
Wow.
Now, that's kind of cool.
I've only heard of The Association.
Oh, you have?
I don't know those other names.
I don't either. Poor Italians.
Yeah,
They got some of the worst stuff, apparently.
Apparently so.
Yeah, that was like what was that, Ronco, that company that always threw trash out there? That was like the Ronco mixtape. Here's one. They had the same idea. It said, while my cousin and I were at the same college in Portugal, we went on a trip to Amsterdam, and on our third day there, we were tired of walking around the city and stopped at a random cafe on a random street. We went in planning to enjoy the fine delicacies the city had to offer, and inside were two guys from our university who not only were visiting the same country and at the same city at the same time as us, but they had the same idea. Well, wow is right. Move on with your life is next. I know some people need to do that.
Yeah, like the guys in the previous story.
My aunt lived in Nevada. Her son died suddenly at the age of 16. Aww. Well, she was devastated, and she had left his room exactly as he had last left it, locked it, and forbade opening it to anyone. A few years later, a tornado sat down in Nevada, which isn't a state known to have such weather. It plowed through my aunt's home and promptly dissipated afterwards. My female cousins were in the house, and while shaken and frightened, out of their wits, no one in the house was injured. The tornado sucked out the contents of my departed cousin's room, destroyed the roof over his room, and then went away.
Wow.
Wow is right. There was never a medical reason for my cousin's death, and no doctor ever found out exactly why he slumped over and died. It was something that had always spooked me. A tornado touching down in Las Vegas, of all places, precisely targeting my cousin's room, destroying only his room, leaving both sisters unharmed, and then vanishing was bizarre. Oddly enough, my aunt was much better after the storm and was finally able to move on with her life. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know how you ever...
It's like a Donnie Darko kind of story.
Is it? Yeah.
Kind of, but I mean, this doesn't have the schizophrenic psycho teenager in it. But, it has that straight out of the weird feel to it,
Sure.
I mean, what are the chances? You want to talk about astronomical.
Right.
Oh, my God. A tornado hit this one spot in this one house and sucked out the bad energy that was permeating the house.
Right. Yeah, in essence, sure. Because it removed all of the contents of that room and just destroyed them.
And the aunt was better for it.
Yep. That's pretty crazy. All right. We hadn't seen each other in years. I was backpacking through Europe with a friend of mine, and we were on a train platform in Germany, waiting for our sleeper train to Prague. I heard my name being called from about 30 feet behind us. I turned around and saw two high school classmates of mine back in the United States that I had not seen in about 5 years.
Is this the guys from the story two stories above?
No, these are new. We talked until the train pulled up and decided to meet up at our destination. We walked in opposite directions, getting on train at the different ends of the same car, but we were in for another surprise. As we looked for our room that was pre-booked, we saw them coming towards us. It turned out they had booked in the same cabin and were in the bunks next to us. Wow.
They had a really great time. It says we had a really great time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Brown chicken, brown cow. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I thought you were going there. I thought so.
Play that news music.
Yeah. All right, one more we'll read and then we'll move on. At the same second, I was in Florida with my two best friends, and we all had boyfriends at the time. Our boyfriends were not together and were not by any means best friends. We were relaxing in our hotel room after having a busy day in one of the Disney parks. All of our cell phones were sitting on the coffee table in front of us, and suddenly, at the exact same second, all three of them rang with our respective boyfriends calling us.
Oh, wow.
I was amazed. Yeah, that's like, wow. That's like, with my boyfriend AI? What the hell's going on?
No doubt.
Are these NPCs? What's going on, Don? Are they dating NPCs?
They're all connected.
Yeah, they're all on the mainframe. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep.
That's creepy. But cool.
Kismet, no.
That was by Megling 1285. I should be attributing these. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. Well, there you go. So those are several more coincidences. What do you think of coincidences,
It's
Don?
a coinkydink. You know what? I believe in coincidence. You know,
I do
things
too.
just kind of happen because things line up. It happens, you know, like
It happens.
Mars in retrograde, you know, Mercury in
God,
retrograde.
Mercury's always in
I know.
retrograde. What the hell's up with
It's
that?
just falling out of the sky.
I know. It's like,
Jeez.
man, I've got like tiger's eye in my pocket all the time because of
right.
Mercury retrograde, and it's always in retrograde. It's like, oh really? It's in retrograde, really? Okay.
You might as well just swallow that sucker and
Yeah, I know. It's
put
like,
it in a kidney.
yeah, just put it in there like a kidney stone.
Yep.
I'm gonna need this. I know it because it'll be about 5 minutes. It'll be back in retrograde. Anyway,
Wow.
that's just my take. All right, we're gonna go to a story out of Minnesota, which is my old stomping grounds, believe it or not. And this is actually sent to me by my nephew. Mr. Dan sent this. It said, from Rochester News Talk, KROC. Here it is. This is the article. Yeah. God, it's small. Let me jack up the size on this a lot. There we go. It's now readable. Okay, let me get it up on screen so you guys can appreciate. Jay Cook State Park. Woman reports Bigfoot encounter in Jay Cook State Park. So this again is apparently near Rochester, but maybe I'm wrong.
Mercury and Gatorade.
What?
Mercury and Gatorade.
Where's that?
No, as opposed to retrograde.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, I'm a little slow out of the gate,
That's
Don.
Rachel for you.
That's Rachel.
That's
Yeah.
Rachel.
Rachel, you are definitely a peer. You are one of the peers.
You are one of us.
All right, here we go. It's been an odd few years. Alien sightings have become the new normal without anyone batting an eye when someone said they saw something spooky in the sky. And there's talk of things in space we don't know of. And, of course, Bigfoot sightings.
Oh, gosh, let's just boil it all down.
Yeah, just right into one saucepan.
Wow.
Thicken and serve.
Throw some garlic in there, would you?
Bigfoot sightings in our neck of the woods are really nothing new. There's been a handful of Bigfoot sightings over the years in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. I was personally spooked a few months ago when a northern Minnesota woman claimed she saw the creature in Ely and gave a detailed description.
Wow.
It looks like I have another reason to be a bit scared as I came across another Bigfoot sighting in the Duluth area. Okay, so this is from up in Duluth. It came across the sighting on the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization website, which documents and looks into sightings across the country, including right here in the Northland. I went to the website to see if there had been any recent sightings, and sure enough, I came across one from early October of last year. The sighting happened the weekend of October 3rd in Carleton County, according to the report. The report said that the sighting happened at Jay Cook State Park, where the reporting party was camping, and it occurred around 3:30 in the morning. With the campers saying they heard 3 deep, loud, one-tone noises and the knock of the tree. The camper also says that it was not an animal or a human, as they wouldn't have been capable of making this noise. Even spookier is the fact that the campsite was surrounded by trees and pretty isolated, with large rocks and trails on either side. As if hearing said noise isn't freaky enough, the camper says There was a partial handprint on her car door that was not from her, and there was no one else near the campsite. Bigfoot, perhaps. While you may not be a believer in the elusive creature, what I read next may have you thinking a little differently. One of the researchers who works for the website says that this particular Bigfoot report came about a month later and about 1 mile away from another one that he had heard firsthand from someone he ran into while running errands. This in-person account was also about a sighting in Jay Cook State Park. The person he ran into told him that they had a Bigfoot sighting in the park while traveling through it with their friend, about a month earlier than the report from the one lone female camper. The two were driving, and then they spotted a skinny tree swaying back and forth. They were driving slow. When they approached the tree, they saw a figure covered with black hair and a massive build before it turned and went into the woods. This gives some levity to the sighting from the lone camper, but it was around the same time and in the same area, yet the two do not know each other or of each other's experiences. Either way, it's pretty spooky that there have been two Bigfoot sightings in the Northland and in a popular place like Jay Cook State Park. This isn't the first time there has been a Bigfoot sighting that hits close to home, and it probably won't be the last, but nevertheless, the more sightings there are, the harder it gets to deny the mythical creature, right? I agree. There are some famous people who believe in Bigfoot. Some of them even claim to have seen Sasquatch in person. Apparently Dan Aykroyd's one of them, but the pictures aren't doing real great because this is the Brave browser. Dan Aykroyd believes in a lot of crazy stuff. He spoke to Joe Rogan on his podcast about how he believes in Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, and even has seen a UFO.
Yeah, he's talked about that.
Oh, there's Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe and his kids did that show.
Yep.
Those are the kids. Yep. There's Rob Lowe and his kids that did that show.
They all have the same hair.
Does that surprise you?
No, not really. Nah.
All right, so Rob Lowe's another one. I guess Rob Lowe has discussed Bigfoot on the Lowe Files. That's what it's called. Yeah. A show he stars in with his sons. I don't know if it's still going on, though.
I haven't heard anything about it.
No, me either. As they investigate wacky stuff, they spend an hour-long episode searching for the wood ape. And he believes that it approached their camp. He was terrified and thought he was going to be killed. Yeah, I watched that episode, and I don't know what he was worried about, but then again, I don't know. I didn't see what he saw.
Relevance. It's
yeah,
all about relevance.
Dean Cain.
Speaking of relevance, have you ever seen the Bigfoot show with Jack Osborne and Jason Mewes?
I never saw the one they did up here.
Yeah,
no, did you?
Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
I was like, really? Come on.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Dean Cain is next. Dean Cain, who is more famous for playing Superman, also takes leaps and bounds with his imagination with Bigfoot.
Nice.
He hosted a show called $1 Million Bigfoot Bounty on Spike TV a few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Megan, I know. Megan Fox believes in him. She was doing a show with people, I think.
Doesn't Megan Fox only have like 4 fingers on one hand?
I don't know.
Because I thought she had like an accident or something.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I guess I didn't know that. I actually was at the same resort she was at when I was down in Hawaii a few years back.
Oh.
And, she was swimming in the pool. Her kids, she was laying by the pool. Kids were swimming in the pool. I was in the pool. I mean, her kids were playing movie. They were like, and action, pretending they're doing scenes and stuff. It was like, yeah, you're a Hollywood kid. I mean, it was fine. It was really cute. But, yeah, they were down at the...
Oh, she has toe thumbs? Oh, okay, never mind.
2 thumbs?
Toe thumbs.
What the hell does that mean?
Hammer thumbs.
What are hammer thumbs?
Her thumbs look like toes.
Oh, okay.
Toe thumbs.
Well, the rest of her looks just fine.
She's this one big foot.
Yeah. So Megan Fox has publicly stated that she believes in Bigfoot. She said she would be the one who would find him if she was in a group expedition. Well, maybe. I mean, women generally do tend to attract more attention in a lot of cases from Bigfoot than men do.
Think?
Well, no, I do. I do.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. All right. And Theodore Roosevelt. President Teddy Roosevelt wrote a book called The Wilderness Hunter, in which he shares the story of a man he met who saw Bigfoot on a hunting expedition. I don't know if he actually talked to the man Did he talk to Bauman, or did he just hear the story of Bauman? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The man's name was Bauman, and he described coming across a half-eaten animal carcass and a bear running away on 2 legs. They had their camp destroyed later, and witnessed large footprints. Teddy Roosevelt believed the story so much he included in his book. Yeah, they don't mention how his hunting partner, not Teddy's but Bauman's, was essentially at his neck broke. Because the first night the thing came into the camp. You can find it on our podcast. Actually, if we did an episode of the Bauman incident, and I think it was in season 2. But so if you check it on Spotify or iHeart, but it's a compelling story. Basically, the first night the thing came into camp, they shot it, and it ran away screaming into the woods. And then after that, it was bent on destroying them. Well, yeah, I mean, it's, hey neighbor, you know. That's not how you greet your neighbors, but I'm sure they were terrified because...
Maggie says that was a great episode, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. Yep. Next up is Bobcat Goldthwait. You knew that, didn't you? Bobcat?
That he believes in Bigfoot?
Yeah. He's actually
I don't know if I can understand a damn thing he says.
Oh, he doesn't talk like that anymore. That was his 80s shtick. Bobcat Goldthwait, an actor and comedian, does believe in Bigfoot. He's even made a horror movie on the subject, and he regularly attends Bigfoot festivals. Yeah, Bobcat. He's an avid believer. Who's this guy? Les Stroud.
Yeah, go figure.
We know that. Les Stroud is an outdoor enthusiast who filmed his own survival show, Survivor Man. He would know more than most people about encounters in the woods, and he claims to have had what he believes was a Bigfoot encounter, and also dedicated some of his show to looking for him. He had 2 of them. One was up in Alaska when he was canoeing alone, and the other was when he was up in the Arctic area with his wife at the time, and they were camping and heard of bipedal steps coming up. In the middle of nowhere, there's suddenly bipedal steps coming through the brush towards them. He goes, "Hey, we're in here." And then they stop, and then they walk away. Bipedal.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his second account. So he's actually got 2 accounts that he can't sort out.
Right. Huh.
Who's next? Anna Marie Goddard, whoever she is. Apparently, the Dutch model and actress says she saw Bigfoot and discussed it on Jay Leno on The Tonight Show. Well, there you go. Is there a clip to it or what?
Well, it's giving you the finger.
I never heard it described that way before, Don.
Well, that's what it's doing.
Alrighty, folks.
All right, courtesy of YouTube.
Was here 2 years ago when she was Playboy's 40th anniversary playmate. Recently, she's in the news again after she said she saw Bigfoot.
This is from my Talk Show Heroes channel on YouTube. I don't know, when was this? 6 years ago?
Yeah,
but if it's Jay Leno, it's longer than that.
Yeah.
I don't know when this actually aired on NBC, but I don't know when she get to the Bigfoot part. But
Kevin Neely.
yeah, this is 6 minutes long. I don't know where it is. I'll put a link into the chat if you guys want to check out the actual video of her talking about it. It's 6 minutes long, so I'm not going to play the whole interview talking about her doing her thing. And
I just want to see Jay Leno say Doritos.
Why? Does he say
used
it?
to do the Dorito commercials back in the 80s.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was an up and comer.
He up and came right to the Dorito stand. All right, so that's her. Oh, of course. Here's the Finding Bigfoot cast. Do they believe in Bigfoot, really? Yeah.
No.
Founder of the BFRO, the North American Bigfoot Conservancy in Boring, Oregon. I don't know. Renee believes much anything. But Bobo, we've talked to on the show.
Bobo? Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's much thinner now. Yeah, he's much thinner now. James Bobo Fay, Renee Holland, and Cliff Barrickman, founder of the president of the Bigfoot Field Researchers, Matt Moneymaker, obviously, are Bigfoot believers. Their popular show has taken hundreds of eyewitness accounts of the stink ape. Why is it called the stink ape?
He's got to have something to attract.
However, they still haven't gotten him on tape. No, they have some howls on the BFRO. They've gotten them on tape. They just haven't got them on film. Here we go. This is a different one. 10 times UFOs have been sighted in the Northland. So there you go, folks. Another fantastic article.
Fantastic.
So we got that going for us. Where are we at? 33. I think I got to use the loo.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know what? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. You guys mind if I run a commercial quick? Oh, we got a call, though. Let's get to the call.
Yeah.
Calls come first before my bladder. All right, and this is area code 336. You're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hi, it's Arduous from your Discord.
Oh, thank you for calling in. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Really glad I could catch you tonight. You're talking about coincidences,
Yes.
and I recently posted that story in the Ghost Discord about, and it was a weird coincidence, and I thought I would call in and share.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, please let us know about what happened.
So my husband and I were laying in bed, and we were discussing different beliefs about the spiritual. And I was telling him how I believe that, there's certain parts of the world where the veil is thinner than others. And I believe that there's some people that can see through the veil a little bit easier and can get connected with spirits and things. Mm-hmm. Now, this is like 11:30 at night. It's really late.
Okay.
And as we're talking about this, the phone his work phone that's connected to his work computer, he works from home, it starts ringing. Nobody has the number for that phone except for his boss and maybe like two other people. And they never call after 5 o'clock.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was really weird. So he decides to just let it go to his email, and it would send him an email. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there, and he never got it. So he gets up and goes and checks the computer, and the computer should have shown a record of the call with who called. Oh. There was no record that the phone had ever rang.
Wow.
It wasn't even in the system. And it was just such a weird coincidence that we're talking about spirits. And here was this phone call that nobody from his work had ever called, and the computer didn't record the call. And it was just a weird situation.
Did the phone itself register a call?
No.
Wow.
It's like a Skype number. So,
okay.
It should have shown up on the computer.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Now, is this a standalone event for you guys, or have you had other activity happen, or either of you, or both of you?
We've both had a lot of experiences.
Wow.
Yeah, he's from up in the mountains, and probably my favorite story that he tells is the land that he grew up on used to be a church.
Oh.
And apparently the pastor of the church had stole money from the community or something.
Ooh.
So, this is all recorded in the local history.
Sure.
You could go look this up. And the community got together and they came up the mountain with torches and stuff, barricaded the pastor in the church, and burned the church to the ground.
No way!
God.
Wow!
Wow, that's a supernatural primer right there, isn't it?
No doubt, primer, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, my husband was telling me that his dad, until the day he died, swore that every once in a while he would step outside to, it's the mountains. Mm-hmm. They're men. They do mountain men things at night.
I do that in Idaho.
Sure.
But he would see a chain. It looked like a chain of a ball of lights floating up the mountain.
Wow.
Like the torches coming up the mountain.
Oh my God. Wow, that's pretty intense.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's almost like the what are they called? The Night Stalkers in Hawaii?
The Marchers.
Night Marchers, yeah. Night Marchers in Hawaii are a supernatural event where it's believed by the locals to be the spirits of ancient warriors marching around. And if you get caught by them, you can die. Like it's very intense, that kind of thing. But seeing that chain of lights go up the hill, like they're repeating that event over and over and over, is just intense. Yeah.
And what's really neat is that particular area is it's very close to the Cherokee North Carolina Reservation.
Sure.
Okay.
And the Cherokee people, my grandmother's half Cherokee.
Okay.
The Cherokee people believe in what they called the little people, who were basically like fairies, and they would see lights dancing on top of the mountains at night.
Oh, nice.
And I always wondered, did he really see like ghost lights from the community coming to burn the church, or was he seeing the little people lights that the Cherokee saw?
Right.
Maybe, yeah, that's a great point. I know the Cherokee have a long tradition of talking about these. I guess there was, as I understand it, there was two types. The type that looked like the gnomes that we know today were not the good type, but these little purple Cherokee people, they were little purple beings, and they were the benevolent good ones, but they looked almost like bugs, like they had purple skin and big bulgy eyes and stuff, but they were the good ones. So that's very interesting. Wow. There's a lot of things going on.
So I will go let you relieve your bladder. Thank you for waiting on me to tell my rambling stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Looking forward to the rest of tonight's show.
Well, thank you so much for calling in and being a part of tonight's show. And if you guys got a bunch of stories, if you wouldn't mind sharing them, I'd love to interview you for the podcast. But toss the idea around. If it sounds like something you want to do, just reach out to me. It'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. I've got dozens myself.
Perfect. Well, yeah, present the idea to the mister, and if he's game, I'd love to hear from you guys.
Well, even if he isn't game, if you're game, we can still do it. It's okay.
Well, I'm just saying, it's kind of nice.
Brent's kind of easy that way.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Anyway, but thank you so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure talking to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, good night. All right, very cool. That's cool. I love when we get the call-ins because those are really powerful. Okay, so folks, I'm gonna well, you know what? I can make it. I'm just gonna go with this because I want to hit a couple Sasquatch Chronicles stories here before the end of the show. And
here's an empty bottle for you.
No.
You can put a sponge in a Ziploc bag.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a very good, it's a very thing.
I've never heard of this thing. I could do with the rest of my life without having heard of this thing.
Telling you, man.
Sponge in a Ziploc bag.
Sponge in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, okay. Well.
Yep. Just ask Merkel.
Does he know about the sponge in the Ziploc?
I'm pretty sure he does. It's a trucker trick.
Oh. All right. Well, yeah, there's more stuff I didn't need to know, but it's almost like the second news segment of the night here. Rachel says it's a trucker's friend.
It's a trucker's friend.
She knows. Okay. I lead such a
sheltered life.
A very sheltered life.
So not, street.
I don't know what's wrong. Yeah.
There's no streets in you.
No. There's gravel roads in me, Don.
Gravel roads.
There's no paved
dust
streets.
Flying everywhere.
Yeah. Sticks and gravel road. Yep. All right. Well, let's get to the Sasquatch Chronicles reports tonight. And again, this is coming from SasquatchChronicles.com. And these are a couple new ones. I don't know how many we'll get to, actually. But we're going to try to get to as many as we can. All right. So this is coming from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Special thanks to Mr. Wes Germer for letting us use these. Mr. Germer. February 19th. And it's a show that's already aired, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Tonight's show, The Guy in the Tree. A listener writes, I had an experience in my early teens on my grandparents' farm in central Illinois. I would stay at their home often, spending nearly every summer and some holidays. This is in the mid to late 80s and well into the 90s. Well, they lived in rural Argenta, Illinois, on several acres of property near a branch of Friends Creek, which ran behind the property at the bottom of their property.
It's a lot of property.
It's a lot of properties. My grandparents are both deceased now. The home and surrounding property has belonged to a new owner. While playing outside during the day, I happened to look up into the dense trees that grew over the creek bed at the bottom of the field. And I saw what I described at the time as to be a black man sitting in the tree. It looked similar to a gorilla, and I distinctly recall the way it was positioned on the tree limb he was sitting on. It was crouched in the branch close to the tree trunk. I know it saw me. I recall it sticking its tongue out before it grimaced and showed its teeth.
Really?
I remember feeling incredibly afraid. To this day, I have the occasional dream about this experience and wake up feeling terrified. Yikes. My grandpa used to talk about Bigfoot like it was no big deal and would often tease me and tell me that Bigfoot was going to get me if I didn't behave.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's... Thank you for the scars, Grandpa. I need therapy. Over the years I spent there on the farm, I would become tasked with doing yard work, and my grandfather saw to it that I used the push mower while he would use the tractor. And I would mow along the tree line and along the ridges near the farming fields.
Where Bigfoot lives.
Yeah. I was absolutely terrified to do this because I didn't like being alone even during the day near the tree line or the corn, soybean fields. And at any time I was outside alone, I would make as much noise as possible, thinking it would scare off anything nearby, whether that would be singing loudly or banging things together like sticks or rakes. I laugh now knowing that these creatures use knocks and sounds
Right.
to communicate with their locations. And I've also heard several unexplainable sounds, including mumbles and what sound like someone speaking in tongues. I grew up Pentecostal while staying out there. These sounds were heard at night and often close to the house. My brother, who is 12 years younger than me, described the same accounts when he used to stay on the farm during the summer after I had started working and couldn't visit. These were not the various sounds made by panther, coyotes, raccoons, deer, squirrels, owls, etc. I am well acquainted with those sounds since childhood, having had an interest in many animals since then, watching nature documentaries, camping. I used to go camping often from March through November, nearly every year in various parts of the country, including the Appalachian and Smoky Mountains. We would burn garbage out by the creek, and I'd always have to take the garbage down whenever I was staying there. And I hated it because it was always after dinner. Several times I would sometimes feel like I was being followed along the tree line by something big. Sometimes I would throw the garbage into the woods closer to the house because I was afraid to be out far by myself. The canopy over the creek was dense, so it was often darker even during the day. I'm now inclined to think that the creature or even creatures may have been habituated because of the garbage being thrown out near the creek. It's good to know that there are serious folks who speak out against those accounts. Yeah, I think that's the danger is, of course, habituating, I think is kind of a loaded thing because it can be fine, but the minute you don't do it, if they become used to it, they throw tantrums.
Well, and plus, like when we had Big Brother Bear on, he talked about, what kind of health problems are we causing them through our processed foods and
teeth
our refined
decays,
sugar.
Yeah.
What kind of health?
How do our processed foods work for them? Yeah,
and it can't be good.
No, I don't think it probably is. I think people have the best of intentions, but it just.
But yeah, the road to hell is paved in good intention. Yeah. So there you go.
That's right. Well, there you go. All right, so we have another one. Let's see, 847. Let me see how long this one is. That one's pretty long. That's going to have to wait. How long is this one? This one's an upcoming show. That's pretty long, too. Maybe we'll jump over to Phantoms and Monsters and hit one of those. Yeah. What do you think?
I think so. I think we should, wrap up after that, though, because I think it's about time.
Don's got a bedtime. This one's pretty long. This one is not so long.
That's a good one.
Here we go, folks.
Here we go.
From Phantoms and Monsters, please stop over there and support Phantoms and Monsters as well. It's the home of Lon Strickler's site, and you can find his books and links to his podcast, which is Phantoms and Monsters podcast, on there as well. And hopefully you check it out and support what he's doing as well as Wes's blog. And this is 2 teens encounter huge red-eyed upright canine near Wedron, Illinois. Again, Illinois, Don.
Yeah.
Illinois is kind of hitting the map tonight.
Yep, there's a lot of noise in Illinois tonight.
Why did they include the S? I don't know. 2 teen boys are out at night hunting near Wedron? I don't know. Wedron? Okay, Illinois. As they trekked through the deep snow, they encountered a huge red-eyed canine cryptid that then stood up as it approached them.
Wow.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
I wouldn't let it approach me. I'd be going the other way.
Richard in Illinois called in to tell his dogman encounter during one of my appearances on Coast to Coast AM with George Knapp. Oh, cool. I just turned 60 years old last November. And anyway, when I was 14 or 15, I and a buddy went hunting on the Burlington Northern Railroad tracks between the town of Dayton and Wedron, or whatever, Illinois. We just had received a heavy snowfall, about 10 to 12 inches. We made it all the way up to where the Wedron silica pits were, and we turned and went across the tracks, came back on the other side, and we were pretty well gassed out because it was a long walk in the deep snow.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got about a half mile from the cemetery, and we weren't talking. We were pretty well winded. I heard something growling and snarling, and my friend walked up behind me, and we were both looking, and there was a big canine creature along a 4 or 5 strand barbed wire fence, and it was on the other side along the timberline, and there was a big orange moon coming up on the east side of the Fox River. The river runs north and south. Anyway, I moved towards the edge of the fence. I had a 20-gauge single shot, and I think Jimmy had a 12-gauge single shot, and I had mine cocked, and imagine he had his cocked too. And then, as it reached the fence, it stood up, and it was standing about 4 or 5 feet over the top of the fence. That's a big creature.
9 foot?
Yeah. It was huge and terrifying. It had red eyes, and it was just as red as it could be. And it wasn't from the moonlight because the moon was still on the east side of the river coming up. We took off. We usually cut down the east side of the cemetery and went down through the woods back to the Burlington Northern track, but we were too scared to go that way, so we went around the cemetery on the west side and went all the way out to his house. His dad and buddies were down in the basement, and they were playing cards. We ran down there and told them what had happened to us, and they didn't believe us at all. It was absolutely terrifying. Yeah, that is terrifying.
No doubt.
And again, I just have to say it. It looked terrifying, it acted terrifying, but it didn't get them.
Right.
And that really has to say something. Like, maybe it's like, get out of here, kids. You're on my lawn. This is where I'm hunting.
Right.
So it hurries them off and never pursued them. But you want to roll those dice?
Yeah.
I don't.
Nope.
Would you?
Nope.
Yeah, that's a great story, though. Wow. And that's what I keep thinking about, too, is how many stories are out there that have never been shared?
Right.
And this sounds like one of them that this person had for so long and didn't ever probably share it much. You don't know, but again, there's regional stories and there's national stories. Right. Well, I don't think most people go to the national level. They might tell a friend or two, but then they just kind of sit on it because what do you do with that?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
And who's going to believe you?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's going to buy it?
Yep.
Well, some people will, but, more than likely most won't.
So let's do shout outs after. If you got another one, let's do shout outs.
No, let's go to shout outs.
Well,
now.
in that case, start chatting because you're only going to get a shout out if you show up on my screen.
If you show up on the screen, you can get a shout out. That means you got to type something.
You got to type something.
So if you type something, you'll get a shout out. If you're sitting quietly, relaxing, then you won't get a shout out. But thanks for being here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, look, it's starting to. Birdie Kuda, 1978. Brooks, hi Brooks. Haven't seen you in a while. Chucky Danger's here. We got Chucky Danger coming up this week too, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Elaine Clifford's here. Hi, Elaine. John Stevenson. Let's see. Chris Circe. How do you pronounce that? Sirhc. Is that Circe? Cirque? I don't know. Lily Pond. Maggie's here. Hi, Maggie. Ninja Dave. Rachel gets it right, of course. RB Mora, Stephanie Vaughn, Farms here. How you doing, Farm? Troy W, Vegas Dirt Pusher, Wonder Woman. Let's see here, and is there anybody I may have missed? Always a shout out to Portal Mom. How you doing? Let's see. So, that actually looks like it. My stuff just went blank. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it comes back.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah. So, who else was here? Well, I guess that's it. So there you go. Shout outs are done.
Shout outs are done.
Newer people here today too. Vegas Dirt Pusher's a new one to me.
Yeah, he's been here for a couple of weeks now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, let's give a shout out to Naysay. Naysay's got to have a shout out. How you doing, brother?
Eric the Purple Hobbit Abroad.
Yep, yeah, there he is. Yep. So there you go. That's it. Done.
Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, remember that the YouTube page now hosts podcast episodes playlist, and that is the season 4, the current season of our podcast. All the episodes from the beginning of season 4 until today.
There you go.
So if you want to check them out, they are there. We'd love for you to, listen, and then, definitely go listen on the other platforms.
Yeah.
It's, the YouTube thing is wonderful and it's great, but we still want your support everywhere.
Yeah. We need all over support.
All over love. We need love all over, especially Don.
Oh boy.
We need scratchy lovin's.
Are you kidding me? No, that's the person's name.
Oh.
So shout out to Are You Kidding Me?
Are you kidding me? Where's that?
Right here.
Oh, are you kidding me? Ah.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth.
No, I'm reading it.
I
I'm
don't
just
know
reading
what you're
it.
talking about.
Yeah. It's
Anyhow.
like who's on first. There you go. Well, good to meet you. Are you kidding me? Thanks for coming in.
Chris backwards. Duh, I should have realized that, huh?
Oh, no.
So
you
it's
shouldn't.
Chris.
Oh, okay. But it's Chris Cirque. Search or Cirque. I don't know. That's very clever, though. Yeah.
Sir HC.
SIRHC. Yeah, go ahead and
Cersei. Yeah.
Cersei.
Chris backwards. It's Chris. Okay, from now on, you are Chris. That's all there is
Chris.
to it.
All right.
You're done.
You've been identified and labeled
done.
by Don now. So I was probably going to stick for me, too, just for warning you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things I can't unhear. So, all right, folks, I think that's going to wrap up our journey tonight. We hope you've had a great time. Thank you all for joining us and being part of what we're doing. We'd love for you to continue to promote the shows, let people know. That helps us out a ton. Special thank you to our YouTube members, those of you that have signed on to be monetarily helping out to keep the lights on here.
You guys are freaking awesome.
Awesome. And special thank you to our mods.
Yes.
We have the greatest mods in all of YouTube. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your help and for being here to help keep things rolling.
There you go.
And thank you to our caller tonight. That was wonderful. It was great to hear from you. And yeah, if any of you out there listening to the sound of my voice, if you've got a bunch of paranormal experiences and wouldn't mind being a guest on the podcast, let me know. I'd love to have you reach out to me and get in touch, and we'll figure out a way to put together an interview with time.
ParanormalPortalRadio@gmail.com.
That's how you do it. Or go to paranormalportal.net.
That's the way you
And
do it.
I'll be waiting to hear from you. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much. Remember, the live shows are currently Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, all at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you'll join us on those 3 days and check out the podcasts. And remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out, find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And support, if you want other ways to support, check out our Teespring for some portal gear. And the link is in the description below. If you want to check that out, we'd love to have you. Love to have your support.
Good night, Mom.
Be sure to like the stream before you leave.
Yes.
We'd love for you to like it. We'd love for you to post it on your social media to let other people know.
We'd love you to make a comment. And if you make the wrong kind of comment, we might make you famous.
Yeah, you might get a cameo on comments from the cheap seats. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight, everybody. Thank you so much. And until Friday night, we'll see you again. So until then, you all be good. Y'all be good now here.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.